Ready to roll, 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 ready to roll. Oh, wait. That's my guest. What's up, fellas and ladies and gentlemen and children of all ages? It's time for Wake Up Mintzy. Not live from the Barstool Sports office. Presented by Dude Wipes. It's a beautiful summer Wednesday morning in Chicago. The vibes are high. Football season's in the air. We're just going to jump right into it because we're going to be joined by the source Stu Feiner for his weekly appearance on Wake Up Mintzy. And we're about to turn this shit up. Let's go, boys. I'm in a fiery mood. Stu, what's up? How are you?
Second of all, Moody, I love you. And third of all, Barstool, I love you. So, one of the most crazy days yesterday. First of all, your aura is like a worldwide aura. Anyone that knows you, knows your history, knows your current status, just absolutely loves you. So, what are the odds that we have a contest where we have 170 diving shout-outs 2 months ago? And we put everyone in a hat, and the person that I pick out comes here yesterday. So he says to me, who are you closest with at Barstool? And of course I say, well, me and Ben speak every day about everything. He goes, Ben Mintz? He goes, I know Ben Mintz. I go, how the fuck do you know Ben Mintz? And Drake says, well, my brother was on his show like a couple of years ago, and I know his family, and he knows my family. And then he explains his history about his brother was the top kicker, I think, at Louisville.
Yeah, he won the one.
Yeah,
Art. So,
right?
Yeah. So you're talking about his Drake Carmody and Art Carmody.
Yes,
I'm
wearing his shirt.
Yeah,
his shirt that he did,
yeah,
Drake made from Carolina. He does these shirts, unbelievable. But yeah, so he starts talking about you, says he loves you, says his family loves you, and you're well renowned, like you're well known. It's not just the Barstool universe, and it was pre-Barstool, it was before Barstool that you had, you were really Ben Mintz. You were the mouth of the South. You're like, really a wet vagina. Everyone loves you, and everyone wants to lick you and hug you. And then he was showing me
I don't know that I've ever been called that.
I guess I've been called. So adorable. Like he showed me some younger pictures of you, and you were so cute. You're so adorable, and you have that like angelic face where you're like a vampire. You never age. Matter of fact, you look younger and younger as the days go on. So we had so many laughs about you, and it's just great that. I love when I talk about people that I love, and then other people love them the same way that I love you. So it was just a great, great day. What a very impressive guy, extremely classy. So their whole family, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, no, and Moody, you actually know him too because it's Shreveport guy. It's Drake Carmody, but Art Carmody, his brother, won the Lou Groza Award as top kicker in the country, I believe in 2006. He was on the Petrino Louisville teams that used to score like a ton when Louisville was super, super good in the Big before they went to the ACC. They were in the Big East. But they were really, really good. But yeah, it's what are the odds of like his dad's like a family friend of mine and they used to bank together. What a small world.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Moody, all roads lead to Shreveport.
That's right. All roads lead to Shreveport, baby.
All roads lead to Shreveport, Louisiana. That's awesome.
Love it. Yes,
we
hung out the whole day, swam in the pool. Then I took him to Blackstone Steakhouse, which was unbelievable, fabulous. And then we went to and then I got takeout Puccinella at night, and we watched all the baseball games, and then shared gut level. And he's had an epic life and an amazing life. A very, very unique individual, very, very impressive. But just like everyone from Louisiana, the bottom line is this: they were raised right. To be honest with you, very classy, understands manners. Understands how they, carry themselves. And be honest with you, that's a lost fucking art. Because most people are classless. Most people don't give a flying fuck. And he's the direct opposite. Similar to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, people think a lot of times, you play the clown, you play the funny man. But you're very classy when it counts. In front of people, you know how to carry yourself. You were raised right. And, most people I have been in contact with from Louisiana, really from the South, are very just classy humans.
Hell yeah. Well, that's exactly what I'm going for, Stu. Let's go. That's what I love to hear. And it's so much fun for like Megan and Brandon and me and the Southern contingent at Barstool because of just how different I think the upbringing was. down there. But God, I love it. So the diving shout-out contest went well. You're still crushing the cameo, I'm sure, with the fantasy football. How are you doing on the rankings?
I'm like 7th right now. I did 3 this morning. I just got in 2 more right now while we're hanging out. And I'm probably going to do like 10 today. And then I do my own diving shout outs. And then we have what's called these running shout outs now too. So I'm just overwhelmed right now with fucking shout outs. Shout it out, baby. It's fun. Listen, it's the greatest business in the world, because like in the business I'm in, 40% of the time I lose. So 40% of the time when I get a client and I lose for him, he's not super happy. Still loves me. Says that off the bat. Says, Stu, I love you, but you hammered me. With Cameo, it's only love. It's only accolades. And there's no negativity. There's no back end. I don't got to wait until, if I'm using a West Coast game until 2 a.m. to see if I've produced for that exact human. So I really like the business. I love doing the shout outs. I've done them for 10 years on my own. And I love Cameo because I have a new element right now that I'm, introducing myself to. And, it's all love. People love me. They're like, Stu, I fucking love you. I've got every single rating is 5 stars and they rave about me. And then, they know that I'm up for the Nobel Peace Prize in 2024, creating the perfect hour of sex with the 15-15-30. So they also say thank you for helping their sex life.
I mean, wow. I mean, what can you even say? I mean, most people get fantasy football draft orders, and you get unsolicited sex advice from Stu Finer.
Exactly.
I mean, what could possibly be better? Well, Stu, I know you're in the heart of. I know you love the baseball. We're just the football thing. Just you feel it just creeping closer and closer and closer. I mean, we're sitting here today, August 14th. We're almost halfway through August. College football kind of starts in 10 days. Really starts in 2 weeks. NFL's coming. We talked some NFL. I'm just I've been doing research. I'm just getting super in the spirit of this thing. I can't freaking wait.
Oh, absolutely. And then so in other words, Drake was sharing literally how much you actually eat, sleep, and breathe college football. There's no bullshit about that. This isn't no act. You eat, sleep, and breathe it. It's in your blood. It's almost like poker. It's almost like, what you actually live for is the college football. And he said your knowledge is unbelievable. He said his brother's knowledge is great too. But he was naming things like, I mean, you live for that, Louisiana football. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, what's interesting on the college front, I'm sure you see this too, with handicapping. The thing about it, the years I've done really well with the gambling on college football, I'm winning right now by doing the research. And because the roster turnover with the transfer portal and how many teams there are, it's so much to follow that if you don't put in the time in August, you're swimming in the season. And so this year, I've been really, really hitting it. And I'm just excited for the season. I mean, the SEC, it's a historic year. I mean, first year of a 12-team college football playoff. I think that's going to be great for the sport. I know that's going to be great for you because now we have, instead of 3 playoff games to care about, we get 11, and so everybody's going to be way more to that. It'll make more money for everybody. And Oklahoma and Texas joining the SEC, historic thing. The SEC's changing. And so, I don't know. This is just a very unique year. There's never been more excitement for Ole Miss football. We're number 6 in the country. I mean, I can't wait to get this damn thing started. I'm literally just counting down the days. But in the meantime, Chicago summer's great. I know New York, same thing. You're enjoying the pool. You're getting outside and getting ready for it. So, I mean, it'll be here before we know it.
Oh, no 2 ways about it. And then I think college football this year, with all, the portal transfers, I mean, teams could have 20, 30, 40, 50 new players right now. There's no more 3-year, 4-year starters. Everybody jumps and then teams transfer. So I think we will be the most valuable to any college gambler this year because there's no way they're going to study and know what we know. You know the meat and potatoes. You go with the X's and O's, and I go the direct opposite. I watch all my shows. I'm a creature of habit. I watch my 6 o'clock shows on TV. Then I go to my 7 o'clock shows, my 8 o'clock shows, my 9 o'clock shows, my 10 o'clock shows, my 11 o'clock shows. I bump into sports radio. And really, what I do, which is unique, probably different than anybody in the world, is I like to listen to the buzz, listen to what everybody thinks, and direct go opposite. Direct go exactly the opposite of what they're saying. The more intelligent they sound, the more make sense they sound, the better it is for me, because I just look at them and go, I'm going against you. I can't believe you just spewed knowledge that was phenomenal for the last 20 minutes. And I love it because I'm going directly opposite your exact fucking opinion. And I write all my notes down. And that's really what I do, against the grain, against the public. So your knowledge is second to none. And my balls of taking dog shit teams and shocking the world and winning is second to none. It's probably why we're the two greatest gamblers in the world. I mean, I want to say
Clearly.
in the world. I want to say everybody get on your knees and suck our cocks and lick our ball bags, because we're the two best there is. You know, there's a lot of people in Barstool, insane knowledge, unbelievable knowledge, can recite sight and verse of every team, every player on the team, X's and O's, and you're the best at that at Barstool. Obviously, everyone knows that. And then I love when people just spew knowledge, because I just look at you and go, I'm going against you, baby. I'm going direct opposite of what you know. So it's a great, I think that's why everyone loves us, because we're two peas in a pod. And what do you want to say? We're the best there is at what we do.
Hell yeah. No doubt about it. I mean, clearly. I like talking a quick bit of strategy, though. You talk about just fading the obvious opinion. The old saying's true in gambling. If it looks too good to be true, it is. And when everybody, like, you know, you look at the line movement stuff, and like when 80% of the public's on one side, it's just an instant red flag to go the other way. And like, also, I know you're a big believer, as I am, in the home underdogs. I think that like the most sucker stuff you see is people just looking at a point spread where like number 5's at number 23 and number 5's only favored by 2, and it just looks so easy. And so I think I know that's a big part of your strategy too.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You know, again, if knowledge worked, if knowing every player on every team works, if schemes work, if you've studied your entire life and you're king shit at everything, if that worked, gambling wouldn't exist. If that worked, people who work for teams, who are scouts, who are ex-players, ex-coaches, ex-managers, wouldn't be allowed to bet. They'd be persona non grata. You wouldn't be able to bet. They love their action. The smarter you are, the more money you lose. That's really how it works. The smarter you are, the more money you lose. So what I like to do is I like to stay out of the fray, out of the hype. So in other words, I don't know X's and O's. I don't know every player on every team, and that helps me. That helps me objectively, because what I do is I look at the line, I look at the money, I look at the sharp money, and any real professional gambler, not people who make content, not people who could just run their mouth and they sound so intelligent, they're like, wow, that's amazing what you know. To me, in my business, in hardcore gambling, professional gambling, that means dick. That means shit. That means nothing. You have to know where the sharp money's going. And I'm talking late sharp money. 30 minutes before a game, 20 minutes before a game, 15 minutes before a game. Reading the line that you and me know, that we have experience knowing if it looks too good, just like you said, it is. Now, not every time, of course. Not every favorite loses. The public doesn't always lose. But 60% of the time, yes, in stone. And then where you and me get hot is where we could take from that 57 to 60%. And then we could bump it up on our hot streaks, go from 60 to 62%, 63%, 64%. That's where all the money's made. That's where you have from a epic season to an unbelievable season to a career season. And that's always what you and me strive for. And I think also what separates us from the others is we're cold as ice when it comes to gambling. We do not let yesterday affect us. It doesn't affect us. You lose, you go 0-10, you get smoked 75-0. It's like another day at the office. What happened yesterday absolutely could never dictate what you're going to do today. And then also, we don't look into the future, because all that actually matters, because we are professional gamblers, because we know the game, is we focus on today, right now. And that really helps you winning, me winning. And that's why we're better than everyone else.
Well, I love this, and I want to talk some more strategy because this is fun getting to break down the stuff in your mind. One of the things you do extremely well, and I've learned a lot from you in the last few years, and something I've done bad, is it's about being selectively aggressive. And like what my mistake that I've made the last few years is on a college football Saturday when you got 61 games on the board. You know, you're giving out 4, 5. You know, your favorite few. I've gotten a little trigger happy and ended up with 8 to 12. And if you take too much volume, you're gonna get run down by the juice. And it's something you figured out and you've actually helped work with me on is being selectively aggressive. If there's 160 some games out there, find your best 3 or 4, roll with your best ones, and don't spread yourself out because it eats you up. And I believe that's a big part of your strategy, right?
100%. And even in bringing it down to the science, like, for example, I might give out 10 selections on a Saturday, but the money is only on one game. That's it. So you can spray the board for fun. You can spray the board for very little money. That's not a problem. But really, to be successful in college football, to be successful in NFL football, to be successful as a gambler in life, is you need to focus on your one singular best bet. Load up on that, and everything else is just for fun. Because like you said, not only does the juice get you, but when you run that ugly losing streak that we know it happens to everyone. You and me are the best in the world. It happens to us when we get cold. You don't expose yourself to blow your whole fucking bankroll. Because if you're involved with even 3, 4, 5, 6 games a day, you get on a losing streak and you're firing, you can lose your whole bankroll in a week or 2 weeks or a month. Then you start chasing, and we know what happens when you chase. We know what happens when you're desperate. It gets worse. And you don't think it could get worse. It gets worse. And then when you think it's never going to get worse, it gets worse. So gambling, as you know, we live it. Discipline is everything. If you can't have money management, if you can't discipline yourself, if you can't really load up on one best bet per day, you have no shot of winning. None. 0 zip. Now, you can have fun all day, but just you better bet tiny, tiny numbers so it doesn't affect you. If you lose every game you bet every day for the rest of your life, you're betting tiny money, you're okay. But if you start firing 500, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. Now, you're watching Dave Portnoy. He's firing 100, 200,000 a game. You're looking at Big Cat. He's firing 5, 10, 20, 30,000 a game. Now, even though they have fuck you money, it affects your life. When Dave loses, he comes in and he's looking to rip somebody's fucking heart out. You don't want to fucking even look at him in the fucking eye. And Big Cat, of course, Big Cat is happy, fun, hug it out. I'm Big Cat. PFC goes, hi, Big Cat. Hi, Big Cat. Big Cat gets ornery when he gets his dick kicked in because they're betting real money. Now, they can afford it. They do not bet over their heads. I've never seen Dave in his life bet over his head. I've never seen Big Cat in his life bet over his head. Very, very admirable. But most people don't do that. Most people chase losses, try to get back to even. I mean, look, when you and me have gone bad and we try to get back to even, all we do is go in the fucking toilet. You can never look at it like that. You just have to have a system and live or die with your system. And winners or losers does not dictate how much you bet per game. It has to be, this is what I'm doing. This is a system. I live and die with it. It's not going to hurt me. I'm not going to bet over my head. I'm not going to expose myself to ruin my life because, as we know, we have 1,000 gambling stories of people who have literally committed suicide, ruined their lives, gotten destroyed because they bet over their head. And it ruins you again. It ruins you physically. It ruins you emotionally. It ruins you spiritually. When you're betting over your head, even if you're winning, it's not good. It's almost like being on drugs. It's like you're shaky. You're very curt with people. You're very short with your family, maybe your children, maybe your loved ones. And it just goes into your life. So the key is this. We're going to gamble every day for the rest of our lives. We're going to give out games, give out selections every day until the day we die. We're never changing. It's our elk. It's what we do. It's what separates us from everyone else. It's why we're the best there is. Not even counting the laughs, the contents, the insanity, the positions you put yourself in, I put myself in, the viral videos that we get millions, tens of millions of views. That's not the point. The point is you have to be responsible with gambling because it is very dangerous. It's very dangerous, and done wrong, you ruin your life.
Well, one thing I do want to ask, you talk about strategy. I actually agree with what you're saying. When you're down, that's when you take a break or back off units because that's the natural inclination, I think, that gets people is when you get down the chasing. But, like, I'm actually on the inverse opinion. When you're having a bad stretch, that's when to take a break, not up your units, just realize you're losing. But when you're real hot, I think that's when you press. Like, when you're feeling real hot, that's when I like to take some shots, not when I'm losing. Because when when you get confidence momentum going, and that's poker, that's life. When things are going the right way, that's when I think you take some shots when you're up and you got a little leeway room. And that's the mistake I think people make the most is they take their big shots when they're chasing as opposed to when they're hot. Just my thoughts.
Understood. I like that too. I just want to go shout out Body Armor. Now, yeah. Body Armor, I went to the Beer Olympics and I met the individual that is in charge of Body Armor for Barstool, and they sent me like 10 cases. Every single flavor is unbelievable, but Ben, my favorite is this fruit punch. I'm addicted to this fruit punch. I don't know. Do you like the sugar-free fruit punch? Do you like?
I hadn't tried it. I'll try the sugar-free one.
Unbelievable, because I only drink the sugar-free. Obviously I'm a diabetic, and I'm a gutted drunk when it comes to sugar and carbs. Marijuana too, for that matter. But I've been living on this fruit punch. I love it. Shout out Body Armor. I love you. God bless you. And fruit punch is the key to life.
Okay, I'll check out the sugar-free.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's just absolutely great. It really, really is.
What are we, about 3 weeks out from Advisors now?
Yes, 21 days. I think today is when I will be in Chicago filming Barstool Sports Advisors. So excited. We start, I'm sure, with Big Cat and Dave and me. So it starts there. And then when Dave's schedule gets a little tight, then we have the legendary Jersey Jerry coming in. But, look, we have Dave, king of all media. Fuck you, Howard Stern. Get on your knees. Get on your shine box, bitch. You can't hold a candle to Dave Portnoy. He rests his ball sack on your eyeballs, and you would have to flitter his ball sack with your tongue because you're not the king of all media. You're some has-been wannabe. Dave Portnoy is the here and now. And Jersey Jerry is probably the most creative, unique individual at Barstool. He's their best performer. He's just surreal.
I totally agree.
I mean, the risks he takes with his life is unbelievable. And he's just drop dead funny. And he is like us, where he's a gutter drunk. He's a recovered crack addict. He's a recovered drug addict. And also he works with a lot of people similar to you, where you spread the word about how to overcome, addictions and adversity. He lives it. He walks the walks. He talks the talk. So either way, the show is fucking great. It's just the best show ever. And I'm looking to kick a Big Cat's ass. Last year, Big Cat won. Last year, Big Cat won in all categories and, pretty embarrassed me. And 2 years ago, I had my best year ever where I went 15-4-2 on the best bets. I hit 78%. In addition to it, I hit every category above 55%. So I'm looking to kick Big Cat's ass. And Dave and Jersey Jerry, because they're not there every single week, it's hard to judge how they're going to judge it. Jersey Jerry gets the bulk of it. And when he gets hot, he does really well. Last year he said he didn't really watch the games, and Big Cat tore his ass about that because it's like, what the fuck you doing? Why are you sitting in the seat if you don't watch the games? But he has a good opinion. He could fly. He could talk off the seat of his pants. He lives the game. And his performative act is the best there is. I just love the fucking guy. Obviously, I love Big Cat. We said we're going to do the show forever until the day we die. And, Dave is one of one. Dave's one of one. What do you got in the world? You really got Bill Gates. You got Elon Musk. You got Mark Zuckerberg. You got God. And you got Dave Portnoy. Really, that's it. That's it. That's the only real people that matter in the fucking world is who I named. And it's an honor that we work for the guy.
Elon Musk, probably.
Yeah, above Dave, you think?
I don't know about not above Dave in our world, that's for sure. But I think it's God and Dave. God and Dave. Let's put it that way. Well, so how long? So Advisors been going on a long time before Barstool. I mean, how long ago did you start the Advisor show?
My first show was in 1989. We did it at Merv Griffin's Resorts Casino. I took a 4-seater plane from Republic Airport in Farmingdale, Long Island, and we flew to Beta, which was the airport there, which doesn't exist no more. And because it got too close to the casinos, and a plane almost crashed right into one of the casinos, so they moved it. So now we land somewhere about 30 minutes away with a small plane, and then we did it at Merv Griffin's Resorts, and that's where we started the show in 89, and it ran from 89 to 94 with $150,000 a week budget. And then
a lot of money.
Let's see.
Then.
Rupert Murdoch bought the NFL programming, moved it to Fox 5, and then bought every fucking sports channel and threw our show off. So then from 95 to 2003, the budget was about $50,000, and we had to scramble for markets. But pretty much we were in every sports channel in the country that Rupert Murdoch didn't buy. And prior to Rupert Murdoch, we were in every sports channel in the country, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday morning, Sunday morning. And, I would get anywhere between 3,000 to 10,000 leads per 4 days, give them out to my staff of 200 salesmen that would just be pounding the phone, tearing people's asses, ripping their fucking heart out, going, "Listen, you motherfucker, pay me or I'll kill you." That was pretty much how we used to close people in the 80s. "Pay me or I'll kill you. I got your number. I know where you live. I'm coming for you." So it was a very subtle pitch, very mellow pitch. It was, we respected the customer. The customer was always right. And we threatened their life. But, then when I made like about $7 million, then I stopped doing that because I didn't want to go to jail. And we changed the format. And then we went, clean, pretty much clean. The advertising was very aggressive still. And, in the 80s and the early 90s, we used to be able to guarantee winners. Guarantee games. This game would never lose. It's a human lock. It's a burial. It's a blowout. Bet everything you own on this game. And then when it lost, we went to the next customer.
Yeah.
You grow up. You get responsible. You learn from your mistakes. You get a heart. You get a conscience. You have a lot to lose. You change everything. So I would say when I got married in 1988, I changed everything because we came back from the honeymoon, Italy. Sandy was immediately pregnant. And then 2 months later, she sat me down and she said, "Listen, Stu, I do not want a stoned drug addict for a father." So she read me the fucking Riot Act. And then from 1988 to 1995, no marijuana, not a hit. No cocaine, not a snort. I only drank Cristal champagne, but not to get drunk, because, you could drink champagne all day. You're not really getting blasted on champagne. It's like
kind of like more of a statement. It's like a social statement almost.
Right, exactly. So while she threatened me, with a baby in her belly, I got my shit together. And in addition to it, I became much more responsible as a businessman. I watched what I did, dotted my I's, crossed my T's, and then we rock and rolled from there. But yes, so 1989, we had some incredible runs from amazing professional players that then it was really on the TV. Then like people confided in me about everything, who they were fucking, where they were stealing their money from.
So it was like the Ace Rothstein in Casino. Like you were like hearing all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. But more than Ace, because Ace worked for the mafia and Ace ran the casinos, I literally was their confidant. They would call me because they could dump shit to me because, first of all, no one knew in the 80s and the early 90s people were gambling. They didn't want to know. Like when you were a gambler in the 80s and 90s, your like MO was that you're a degenerate, you cannot be trusted, and you were unhinged, which most people were not. Some people were, most people were not. So I knew everyone's secrets. I knew, like, millionaires, billionaires, people that ran this country. I knew every secret in the fucking world, and they're going to die with me. And that was pretty much my strength. You know what I'm saying? You could tell me anything.
Your strength was your information.
Right. It would go in one ear and out the other. But my strength also was that they trusted me because, first of all, they were doing something that then was like illegal, because they were betting illegal. Most of my customers, 99% of them, were not in Nevada. So they were betting either with offshore sports books or your local bookmakers. You know what I'm saying? So they were doing an illegal act at the time. What I did was not illegal because I was just selling information. Never got involved with being a bookmaker. Similar to I never got involved selling cocaine because I didn't want to go to jail. I could not. I'm not made for jail. I don't think you're made for jail either. We're just not made for jail. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I made sure that, the things I did, I was never going to jail for. You know what I'm saying? So in the 80s, I really enjoyed the relationship with my clients. Now that's not really the case. People really text me, and that's about it. I give the games, I manage the money, we have a quick conversation, but it's not every day talking about their wives, talking about their children, talking about the maneuvers they're making, what their stock market is, who they're banging on the side. They almost got caught with their fucking Goomba, with the girls they're banging while their wife was there. Like that used to be a normal course of business. That's gone by the wayside. That doesn't exist no more. So that's really the pressure is on more than ever to win. Absolutely to win. People love me. They love me on the show. They love my performative pomp and circumstance. They love my attitude. They respect me because I'm a husband, a father, a dog owner, a loving human. But at the bottom line, the core, when people pay me because I have a paywall and they are paying me, gotta win. And I gotta win quickly because some people are just, when people come to me, they're desperate. That's why people don't realize how hard the position I'm in, how hard my business is, because sometimes I don't get more than that moment with the guy. He's like, Stu, I just found you. I'm stuck 20 grand and you got to win for me right now because otherwise I'm done. So it's a tough spot. You know what I'm saying? It's a tough spot.
Yeah. Desperation.
Gotta win. And I could, it just, you just got to do what you got to do. So, so the show started in 1989, Merv Griffin's Resort. They gave me the Griffin Suite, 5,000 square foot suite with a fucking elevator in it, with a butler, unlimited food, unlimited everything. It was unbelievable. It was amazing. Amazing.
I'm fat. I love this talk with you, like learning about the history and the way it's evolved. This is so fascinating to me. I want to ask now, as you've seen the changes in the sports gambling world, because like you said, back in the day, you could bet in the sports books in Vegas and in Nevada. That was it. There was no online. There was nothing outside of Nevada. Everything was illegal bookmakers. Now you've seen this nationwide movement. It's regulated. It's in all these states. Obviously it's completely different. Do you think it's been a good thing? What do you think about the current landscape?
You're going to have the people that are compulsive, that are addictive. They'd be addicted to anything that are going to wreck themselves. The positives totally outweigh the negatives in a couple of different fronts. Number one, when I started the business, everyone was on credit. That
was the point I was going to bring up too.
Credit gets you in trouble. Credit almost breeds you chasing and breeds you to bet over your head. And then if you tap out, you would have to just stop gambling until you paid your money back. And it really caused a lot of people to really ruin their lives. You know what I'm saying? Get wrecked really quick. Now, the main positive thing is that it forces you to be responsible. You could still be irresponsible, but you have to put money up front.
Yes,
and you're really not going to chase money up front. You know what I'm saying? And also, I think it educates the young gambler, understanding, first of all, how hard it is to win. Second of all, respecting how quickly you lose your money. And third of all, if you are a degenerate, it blows you out so quick, so fast that you could be done very quickly forever. So I think it's the hard knocks of life. It's a hard lesson learned, but it's an amazing lesson learned. Like, as we know, people do not stop anything until they get in trouble. And some people don't stop until they get in serious trouble. And some people have a bravado. Well, I know everything. I'm knowledgeable. I know every player on every team. I know every coach. I've been watching him since high school. I followed him into college. I know his scheme. I know what offense works against this defense. I know what defense works against this offense. And then they get humbled to their knees because they're like, wow, even with me knowing everything, even with me knowing every player, where he's been, how much he weighs, his skill set means nothing. So I think it really is an eye-opener for the gambling world in the United States to get a real hard knocks lesson about gambling is dangerous. Gambling could wreck you, and you learn a quick lesson. You lose, let's say you got a $5,000 bankroll. You could lose it in a weekend. You could lose it in a day. You're not going to really reload for another 5,000 because, you just got taught the hard knocks of life. And I think that's a positive. The problem I have is that all these sports books pump so heavy, so hard. It gives the aura that if you're not gambling, you're not cool. You're not you're not involved with the overall picture of life, which is bullshit. That's total bullshit. You don't ever need to bet a game and you still can enjoy a game. You don't have to bet a game to be cool. You don't have to bet a game to be successful. So, and I think even if they say, they put the disclaimers at the bottom, I don't think they do enough to really educate the gambler because that would hurt their business. They're in like a catch-22. So they have to draw the line. They have to walk that line. But when you see Jamie Foxx and all these professional players that you look up to, that you love, and they're pitching and they're pumping hard, you want to do what they say. You want to give the money in. Then you get your fucking dick picked in. And then you're like, hey, wow, this fucking guy robbed me. He scammed me. I didn't know what I should know. But now that you got your dick kicked in, you do know. So there are negatives, but I think the positives totally outweigh the negatives. And in addition to it, I think gambling is a great scenario how to learn and live in life because it shows you if you take risks, there are extreme, severe consequences. So I think it humbles a lot of arrogant people. It humbles people. It teaches you, wait, whoa. I better not go gun-ho so hard at something. I better really, dot my I's, cross my T's, be responsible, have a plan. So I think it helps you in life. Because if you think you're so good at something, you take a shot, you get murdered, you have to back up, and you have to learn a lesson. So again, as you and me know, failure after failure, not only are you not supposed to lose your enthusiasm, but by the same token, you learn untold knowledge from pain, from suffering, and from bad mistakes.
Yeah, I love what you said. The couple points just I want to harp on. I totally agree with I like the regulated because they're having to deposit the money. Because the dangerous thing to me, especially in the internet era, was when you'd have the credit accounts that you could click on your phone. Because then especially, like, that's why you always say keep alcohol away from gambling and stuff. But, like, on a Saturday, back when I used to drink, like, I'd have by kickoff of the 6 p.m. game, if I've been boozing all day, like, I'm a $50 a unit player, and I'd end up having $500 on the night game when you lose, like, your senses on it kind of thing. And that, especially with the credit thing, but like, the depositing thing, and I love DraftKings and all that for that, is, like, when you put, 500, 1,000, whatever you put on there, like, it's just totally different when you have to put the money up front. As you said, I think that is the biggest game changer ever because it's that credit account thing is such a slippery slope, and I've seen it bury people, and I couldn't agree more. I think that's certainly, one of the biggest differences. But it's cool that it's have you seen a lot of growth with your thing since it's now regulated? Do you feel like more like the common man that didn't feel comfortable betting with bookies or offshore or whatever is more comfortable betting now that it's government regulated? Do you think that's like brought in new people?
100%. No two ways about it. No two ways about it. I mean, only old school people, my age that have been betting with, illegal bookmakers their entire life, they're never going to the new DraftKings or FanDuel or Bet365. They're never going to them because they don't need to. But your new, young 21-year-olds, they go directly to DraftKings, directly, immediately. And it has, yes, absolutely helped my business. Legality helps any business in reality. You know what I'm saying? Nobody likes the word's out. You do something illegal, one way or another, it's going to bite you in the ass. So the way to work is to do it legal. And again, absolutely, it's blown up my business, blown it up incredibly. But you get young people right now. That's why, like years ago in the 80s and 90s, I'd be charging $10,000 a week. I'd be charging $3,500 to $5,000 a game. I didn't want anybody else but your major players. When I came to Barstool, I had to change my entire way I did business, because now I open my business up to everyone. Whether you bet $25 a game or $1 million a game, when you pay me, you're getting the same games. You're getting the exact same game, exact same game. So I treat the $25 player the same way I treat the $1 million player, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't charge any more money to that player. I don't have inside information games. That is total bullshit. I don't charge the guy more money because he bets more. So everyone gets my best once they pay me for my package. It's a static price. It's a static package at StuFinder.com. And that's why, people love me. Even when I go through my losing streak, people love me and they respect me. They understand that. There is no, hey, in my industry, the sports gambling handicapping industry, there are the worst people in the world. Whores, liars, thieves. They use fake names, fake records. They try to set you up with a bookmaker that they are sitting right next to them, and they just take shots at you. So if you have to call someone on the phone to talk to them, I would never pay them in any way, shape, or form. Whether you're on Long Island, whether you're in New York, Vegas, Nevada, Florida. Those are the three biggest robbery states. New York, Florida, Nevada. I wouldn't trust anyone ever in those three states. You have to actually talk to them because they have a made-up name, a made-up past performance, a made-up persona, and they're just looking to rob you. They give both sides of a game, and then to get their best information, they have no prices that you could ever see, so they make them up as they go along. Literally make them up. Very, very dangerous. So with my business and why I'm so successful is that everybody sees my pricing. My pricing is right on the site. It doesn't change. It is what it is. I put it out there. Whether you bet $10 million a game or $1 a game, you get the same games every time, every day. So I think, yes, legality, businesses like DraftKings have opened up my business to the world, and it's been very, very lucrative and successful.
No, I agree. We love DraftKings here at Barstool. And like I said, the legalization, that's been so big for all of us and for our company. The other point I wanted to make, too, and I love that you bring this up, because this is the biggest thing with gambling to me, is when people do the unit shaming stuff. Some people get off on betting 5K, 10K, 20K game. Good for them. If you got the money and you do it responsibly, because money is a unit of value. What's 10K to somebody is nothing to some people, and it's everything to most people. It's all just relative to your situation. And so, I'll talk out loud and say it. People laugh at me oh, you bet $50 a game? I'm a $50 unit player. There's not a damn thing wrong in the world with that. And I feel like that's a thing I don't really love in the gambling world, where people are oh, you have $100 in this game, you don't matter. It's entertainment, And I kind of feel like that's one thing that, I don't know, I believe in, if that makes sense.
And 100%. And that should be the mission statement of every individual out there. You should be able to have the exact same energy and excitement betting $25 a game as you do betting $25,000 a game. Now, for example, Dave Portnoy, let's say his net worth right now is $200 million. When he can afford to bet $100,000 a game. $100,000 is the same for you and me betting $1,000 a game or $500 a game. Same thing.
Probably 50 for me.
Right. No, but I'm saying exactly. So that is how you have to put gambling in its perspective, in its form. That's how you do it. So you'll never get hurt. You'll still enjoy the energy. You enjoy trying to be right, trying to be Stu Finer, trying to be Ben Mintz, trying to have that aura, that intensity that you could be the best there is. Because the bottom line is this: if you fire heavy money, you better be able to absorb that when you go through your losing streaks. The best you're going to do is lose 40% of the time. Best you're going to do is lose 40% of the time. So you're going to lose. It's like people say, I hit 60, 70, 80, 90%. No, you don't. You don't. And no, you don't. Can you have years like that? Of course. 2 years ago on Barstool Sports, everybody saw me. I went 15-4-2 on my mortal lock. I hit 78.8%. I hit almost 60% on every single package, giving games out 4 days in advance. It was my best year ever. It was unbelievable. Can you do it? Yes. Can the basic, layman do it? No, never. You're going to get murdered. So the less you bet and the less you risk your life, your bankroll, better. Still fun. Doesn't matter what you bet a game. You're very responsible with what you're preaching. You're very responsible being a power of example, Ben, what you do. And that's really how everyone should do it. So everybody should bet. Everybody should enjoy you. Everyone should pay me at StuFinder.com and just enjoy what they do. That's really the bottom line.
Yeah, like I look at it like the $50 thing. If I lose the game, that's what I'd have spent on a concert ticket or a dinner, and I got 3 hours of entertainment. That's kind of how I don't know. That's kind of how I look at it. All right, Stu, we kind of mentioned some NFL before. Like I know you're big on the Jets this year. Do you have any other? I've been doing my deep dive, like looking at all the rosters and the gambling stuff. One of the ones I thought that stood out on DraftKings was I looked through the odds to win the NFL divisions. And this is not going to be a popular take in this office because so many people hate Green Bay and Chicago. But Green Bay plus 230 to win the NFC North, I thought was interesting because Detroit's like even money and super hyped. And obviously there's hype on the Bears with Caleb. But like the way Green Bay played the second half of the year when Love came on, they should have won that Niners playoff game. They destroyed Detroit on Thanksgiving. That plus 230 on Green Bay to win the NFC North, I thought was kind of the only division bet that stood out.
Big value, tremendous value. I mean, look, they could win the Super Bowl. There's no two ways about it. They were one game away from going to the Super Bowl, and they definitely could have beat Kansas City. There's no two ways about it. I mean, they had the 49ers dead. I mean, they had them dead. I mean, they had it won. They're only getting better. I mean, their receiving core, which, as we know in the NFL right now, NFL, you could say one word and just keep repeating it until you die. Offense, 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 offense. That's just the bottom line. I don't care how great your defense is. You're not winning the Super Bowl without an offense. You have to have a prolific offense, or you got to have Patty Mahomes, which can make any play, anytime, anywhere, at will, unstoppable. But, yeah, Green Bay's loaded. That's a big value bet there. I love the bet. Like, look, there's a lot of hype on the Bears. They're going nowhere. I mean, let's be real.
I think they're going to be fun. They're going to be like
they're
going
to be fun. Yeah. Look, they're not a joke no more. They're not going to be 3-14. But let's be real. I mean, they're nowhere near Green Bay. They're nowhere near Detroit. And, they're the third fiddle in their division. And it's going to be really, really rough. Really rough. Really, really rough. And now they have to make sure they don't get their quarterback killed. They got to make sure because he does take chances. And he has an epic arm. We watched it in the preseason. Looked great. But, they're one play away from him getting hurt. And they're 4-13. This is over. And, how do you stop Caleb? Well, knock him out of the game. That's the bottom line. How do you stop him? Put him on the sidelines. How do you stop him? Keep hitting them. Keep hitting them. Keep hitting them. So, I love your Green Bay play. Like I have the Jets winning the AFC East. I have the Eagles winning the NFC East. I have the Eagles representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. I have the Jets representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. And I think I have the Jets winning the Super Bowl. So right now, that would be my value plays. That's where I'm going right now. Those are my futures. I think the Lions have the best shot. And if I'm not going to go that way, I would say Lions, Texans. I'd say Lions, Texans.
Yeah, the Texans. The Texans thing is fascinating because the way, like, if you look at the NFL, the premier positions they've got. You've got franchise left tackle Tunzel, franchise quarterback Stroud. You've got awesome pass rusher elite guy Will Anderson they just drafted. You have a franchise corner Derek Stingley. Like the premier positions, they've got them. Like they've, like if you were like looking at which positions matter, they've got elite guys. And D'Amico Ryans, I think, is an incredible coach. He's changed that culture. I mean, that was such a bad culture. And so, I look, I'm a believer in Houston. They got a lot of depth and good receivers. And the other one that I'm interested in this year, it's hard to call because the AFC North to me is the toughest division in football. I mean, you could argue for all 4 teams with Steelers, Browns, Ravens, and Bengals. But I feel like, and I guess I saw Joe Burrow show up in the Slim Shady haircut and saw the Pardon My Take interview, but I feel like this could be a big Burrow Bengals year. I think people are like sleeping on it. He's the only guy that's proven he can beat Mahomes in the playoffs and in big games in the world. I don't know if they can win that division because the Ravens will be really good too, but I'm watching the Bengals super close. I mean, a lot of it's just health with them though because he's had a lot of injuries, but I don't know. I just feel like the Bengals are like the one team to me that's like proven they can do it in the playoffs against the Chiefs because, Mahomes ruined the Bills Super Bowl window. He's ruined the Ravens, but the Bengals are the only team that we've actually seen beat them. So,
and they should have beat the Rams in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they should have. They're off of Aaron Donald.
I mean, they had him. I mean, look, Joe Burrow. I mean, look, out of college, he covered 8 straight. It was one of the greatest runs you've ever seen in your life.
Ever.
I mean, and when he's healthy, he doesn't lose. He literally does not lose. The man does not lose. So healthy, he arguably is the best quarterback in the NFL. But again, he's never healthy.
Your best ability is your availability.
And again, the Ravens are going to be dangerous. If they had Derrick Henry last year, they beat the Chiefs. In the fourth quarter, if you handed the ball off to him in the fourth quarter, they beat the Chiefs. So, Ravens, Lamar Jackson, it's going to be a dangerous team. It's going to be very scary. There's about 10 or 12 teams in the NFL right now that are they're great. They're great. They don't, you don't have trash in the NFL no more. You have like 10 or 12 teams that are great. You got 5 in each, 5 in the NFC, 5 in the AFC, might even be 6 and 6 that are great teams. They're going to put on great performances. It's just a matter of health. That's the bottom line. Health is everything.
Health is wealth. Well, Stu, freaking love, dude. We're up, we're ready to roll. Thanks to Dude Wipes as always. Cleaning up all the messes in the world. Toilet paper revolution. Amazon, Walmart, Target, nationwide. Nothing cures the mud butt in the summer like some Dude Wipes. It'll change your life. Check them out. And as always, got the Stella Blue Coffee. Thank you to Big Cat, Great American. And check out the Blueberry Iced Coffee. That's my personal favorite. Nothing like waking up once a week with Stu Feiner on Wake Up Mintzy. Love you, Stu. You're my favorite people I've ever met in the entire world. And I'm just so thankful you're in my life.
That vice versa. I love you, Ben. Tyler, I love you. Big hugs, big kisses, and I'll see you 3 weeks from today, baby. I'll see you to hug it out. Let's go. We're going to dinner. We are going to dinner. We're eating our way through Chicago as always.
Ready to roll for football season.
Ready to roll.
Talking a lot more football. Wake Up Mintzy tomorrow. Let's have a day, boys. Let's get it. Thank you, Steve.